Good morning, children. We are starting the second part of the chapter, metals and non-metals. In the previous part of the chapter, we have discussed certain physical properties of metals, and one of the physical property of the metal we have discussed over there was ductility. Then we have discussed about malleability. After that, we have discussed about metals are very good conductors of heat. Now in this part of the chapter we are going to discuss that metals are very good conductors of electric current. You might have seen that metallic vads are used for the conduction of electric current. When you take out the casing of a normal electric wire, you will see inside it either they have copper wire or they have aluminium wire, because copper and aluminium are excellent conductors of electric current. Okay, so here they have shown an experiment, as you could see in the diagram. We have a total connecting where we have a torch bulb, and here we have two of the crocodile clips, right? And here we have a battery, which is a cell by which electric current is generated. In this way we have set up the whole circuit. Now when these crocodile clips are not connected to each other, the circuit is not complete. As a result, what happens? The bulb does not glow. But on the other hand, if you see that joining diagram, that when the crocodile clips are being connected, what happens? We have kept aluminium foil by which we have connected both the crocodile clips. Now the circuit is complete. The result, what we see that the bulb starts glowing. So A and B, these two figures in the, what are they showing? They are actually showing that metal is a excellent conductor of electric current. Okay, A and B as shown in figure. We will see that the bulb lights up. That means that the aluminium foil allows electric current to pass through. This shows that aluminium foil conducts electric current. In other words, aluminium metal is a good conductor of electricity. So as you could see in the adjoining diagram, also at home you might have seen this type of electrical cables, right? Inside the cable we have other three cable. One is the neutral cable, one is the earth, one is the active one. But when you remove this plastic casing, what we see copper wires. So ultimately electric current is conducted by the copper wire. Now what we know, that metals are good conductors of electricity. Metals offer very little resistance to the flow of electric current, and hence they show high electrical conductivity. Silver metal is the best conductor of electricity. Copper metal is the next best conductor of electricity, followed by gold, aluminium and tungsten. The electric vads are made up of copper and aluminium metal because they are very good conductors of electricity. Metals like iron and mercury offer comparatively greater resistance to the flow of current, so they have much lower electrical conductivity. We will now describe how a metal conducts electricity. Metals are good conductors of electricity because they contain free electrons. These type of free electrons can move easily through the metal and conduct electric current. Thus, electrical conductivity is another characteristic property of metal. From the above discussion, we conclude that metals are good conductors of heat and electricity. Okay, we conclude that metals are very good conductors of heat and electricity. Now, electrical vads that carry current in our homes have a covering of a plastic such as polyvinyl chloride. Polyvinyl chloride is an insulator. It does not allow electric current to pass through it. Electrical vads have a covering of insulating material like PVC around them, so that even if we happen to touch them, the current will not pass through, and hence we will protect it. Because what we know, metals are very good conductors, but non-metals are non-conductors of electric current. After that, next property, children, we are going to discuss is metals are lustrous or shiny and can be polished. So by saying that metals are lustrous, we mean that they have a type of shiny surface. For example, gold, silver and copper are shiny metals, okay, and they can be polished. Gold, silver and copper are shiny metals and they can be polished. The property of a metal of having a shiny surface is called metallic luster. The property of a metal of having a shiny surface is called as metallic luster. The shiny appearance of metals make them useful in making jewelry and decoration. For example, gold and silver are used for making jewelry because they are bright and they are shiny. Because they are bright and shiny. The shiny appearance of metals is because that is one characteristic feature of metal. See, one important characteristic of a metal is that its shiny appearance that makes them very good reflectors of light. Silver metal is an excellent reflector of light. That is why it is used for making mirror. So that's why we call it as a silver mirror, because silver metal is there on the surface of the metal that is been then covered layer of mercury oxide. As a result, the silver metal can be used for. That is the purpose of using a silver metal. Now, metal has a shiny surface only when it is just been fresh. When a metal has been kept exposed to air for a long time, then it gets dull. It loses most of its, I should say that its shine or brightness. The metal lose their shine or brightness on keeping in air for a long time and acquire a dull appearance due to the formation of a thin layer of oxide, carbonate, or that of sulfide. You might have seen that silver articles, they actually become dull after the certain passage of time. Why they become dull? Because they form a layer of silver oxide or silver sulfide. Because of the formation of silver oxide or silver sulfide, their shine is lost. Okay. If we just rub the dull surface of metal object with the sandpaper, then the outer corroded layer is removed and the metal object becomes shiny and bright once again. That is one important characteristic of this metal. So just metals are best known for their shine. You might have seen that gold is used for jewelry because of its shine. If the shine is lost, then that gold has no actually application. After that, we will discuss the next property of metals, that metals are generally hard except sodium and potassium, which are so soft that it can be cut with a knife. Most of the metals are hard, but all metals are not equally hard. The hardness varies from metal to metal. Most of the metals like iron, copper, aluminum, etc. are very hard. They cannot be cut with a knife. There are some exceptions. Sodium and potassium are soft metals which can be easily cut with a knife. So we know that sodium and potassium are soft metals which can be easily cut with that of a knife. We can perform the following experiment to study the hardness of metal. Take a piece of iron metal. Try to cut it with a knife. We will find that the piece of iron metal cannot be cut with a knife. Okay. This tells us that iron metals are very hard. Now hold a piece of sodium metal carefully with a piece of tongs and try it by pressing between the folds of filter paper. Place it on a watch glass and try to cut it with a dry knife. We will find that the piece of sodium metal can easily cut with small pieces. This shows that sodium metal is soft. So as sodium metal can be cut with iron knife, I can say that sodium metal is comparatively softer. Okay. Metals are strong except that of sodium and potassium metals which are strong. By saying that metals are strong, we mean that they can hold large weight without snapping, without breaking. For example, iron metal is very strong. Due to this, iron metal is used in the construction of bridges, buildings, railway lines, girders, machines, vehicles, and chains. Though most of the metals are strong, but some of the metals are not as strong. For example, sodium and potassium metals are also very strong. You might have seen that big type of bridges, railway engines, railway compartments, they are made up of metals. Why are they made of metals? Because metals are comparatively strong and they have a high tensile strength. Another important property of metal is that metals are extremely resistant to high pressure and temperature. That's why see these type of metal wheels are used in railway compartments. Metals are solid at room temperature. Exception is mercury, which is a liquid metal. So most of the metals like iron, copper, aluminium, silver and gold, etc. are solid at room temperature. Only one metal, mercury, is a liquid state. So mercury, we call it as liquid metal. Although mercury shows the properties of metals, but when we look at its physical nature, we see that these type of metals, they are comparatively softer and hence they can be easily cut with that of a knife. Okay. These are some of the important characteristics of metal. Another important characteristics are metals have high melting point and boiling point, except sodium and potassium metal, which have very low melting point as well as boiling point. Metals have high melting point and boiling point except sodium and potassium, which have very low melting point and boiling. For example, iron has a high melting point, and melting point of iron is 1535 degree Celsius. This means that solid iron melts and turns into liquid iron on heating to a high temperature 1535 degree Celsius. Copper metal has also a very high melting point of 1083 degree Celsius. There are, however, some exceptions. For example, sodium, potassium metals, they have comparatively much low melting point. Okay. After the children, we are going to discuss another property of metal that tells us that metals have very high density. We mean that metals have very heavy substances. For example, the density of iron is 7.8 gram per cubic centimeter, which is quite high. So iron metal is a heavy substance. Therefore, however, some exceptions are always there. Sodium and potassium metals have very low density, and they are very light metals. Another property is that metals are sonorous. What is the meaning of sonorous? That is, when metals are bitten with a hard substance, they produce gonging sound. That is, metals make sound when hit with an object. Sonorous metals capable of producing a deep or ringing sound. If we suspend a piece of a metal and strike it with an object, we will find that it makes a ringing sound, and we say that the metal is sonorous. The property of metals of being sonorous is called sonorousness or sonority. So it is a virtue by which a metal makes sound when it is being heated with a hard object. This property is called as the sonorous nature of metal. This property is called the sonorous nature of metals. It is due to the property of sonorousness or sonority that makes metals that are used for making bells. Metals are used to make bells. Metals are also used to make bells. Metals are used to make strings of musical instruments like sitar and violin. Sitar, violin, guitar, ektara, all these type of strings instruments, they use metal. And this is one of the best uses of metals. Metals are usually having a silver or a grey color, that is except copper and gold. Copper has reddish brown color, whereas gold has a yellow color. So metals have a specific color, which is a characteristic feature of a metal. After that, we are going to discuss the physical properties of non-metals. I have already told that non-metal shows the property which is totally opposite to that of metal. So we know non-metals are neither malleable nor ductile. Non-metals are extremely brittle. That is, when non-metals are hammered, instead of changing into thin sheets, they actually change into, or they just, I should say, break, and they shatter into small pieces. Thus, the solid non-metals can neither be hammered into thin sheets nor drawn into thin wires. Non-metals brittle, which means that non-metals break into pieces when hammered or stretched. For example, sulfur and phosphorus are solid nonmetals which are non-malleable and non-ductile. When the sulfur or phosphorus are beaten with a hammer or stretched, they break into pieces. That is, instead of changing into the property of thin sheets, they change into very small pieces. Thus, the property of being brittle is called as brittleness. Thus, brittleness is a characteristic property of nonmetals. Please note that we can consider brittleness of solid nonmetals only if it is applicable liquid or in the gaseous nonmetallic state. Okay. Another important property of is that nonmetals do not conduct heat or electricity. That is, nonmetals are poor conductors of electricity. Carbon in the form of graphite is exception. So just remember, among the non-metal, one exception we have, that is called graphite. Graphite, although non-metal, is actually a very good conductor of electric current. As a result, it is being used as a conductor. As a result, it is being used as a important constituent of. As a result, it is being used as an important constituent of electrical crucibles and other electrical apparatus. And we use graphite for the manufacture of electrodes. Right, so carbon in the form of graphite is the only non-metal which is a very good conductor of electricity, since graphite, an allotropic form of carbon, is a good conductor of electricity. It is used Okay, children, that was all for the day. Thank you.